taking classes from another trainer, and we just started getting to know each other a little bit more. And then she started bringing her jewelry in, and I started looking at it, and I was going, gosh, this is really unusual. And it was so interesting to hear her talk about the pieces and the history behind each piece of lace or trim or button or jewel that she was putting with it. I've loved wearing Carla's jewelry, and I wear it to some special places. I wore actually this necklace to the opening ceremonies of the Olympic Games in Vancouver. And the jewelry really came through in a very big way. I've worn them to the White House several times. I've worn them on television shows where I have been hosting, and I'm doing a show actually next week hosting with Nadia Comaneci and Bart Connor. And I just bring a few extra pieces because, Nadia likes jewelry too. So last year I let her borrow like a cuff and some earrings. So we both had the jewelry on. I gave this piece to Carla as just some glitter. It has a lot of bling on it. I did a number at Radio City Music Hall. And I probably wore this in the show maybe a minute and a half, and then I took it off and then was able to do a number. Carla can make lots of blingy things from it, so, but she's just real sweet that she has made jewelry with pieces from this, and she's giving 15% to breast cancer research of all the jewelry she sells. So I'm a survivor, 12 years, very grateful, and this is a very sweet gesture that she's done. Well, I think this jewelry stands out because it's like wearing history and art at the same time. It's fun to wear, interesting to wear, and striking at the same time.
The piece that Peggy's wearing right now is special because, and it's called Cambon, because the Rue de Cambon in Paris is the street where Chanel is, the main Maison Mère Chanel. Mm-hmm. And the trim is made by a man whose family for several generations made all the passementerie for Chanel. So this piece gets to be called Cambon in Coco Chanel's honor, and Peggy wears it really beautifully.
I love it. I wear it a lot.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, she has this bag on the bench, and she pulls out this bag of this costume, and I'm like, well, what's this? And she says, well, this is one of my Bob Mackie costumes, one of my original costumes that I wore skating, and I really want you to have it, and I want you to be able to make jewelry with it or do whatever you want with it. Her whole career is a history also of its own, a life of its own, and so for me to be able to take a piece of her history and make it into something that is my current passion is really special. And so I was very honored. At the same time, I was like almost like horrified, like, oh my gosh, how can I take anything off of this jacket? And she said, oh, don't worry, because
I have a lot more.
A million more of these where that came from. We've been making cuffs. This is one of the more modest cuffs. We have other ones with rows of rhinestones. And then we donate 15% of the proceeds of the pieces that we use from Peggy's costumes to breast cancer, because that's a cause that's near and dear to Peggy. So, and I'm a champion of all women doing well and being healthy. Nothing wrong with beauty. No.